almost shifting. We got pizza, moving boxes, or else Checkers beats us. Life is rough here in the depths of space. If shit set comes a knocking, we shoot them in the face. Gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo. Hail Cargonia, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo. All right, I got another verse. I hear a boy coming right in my instant, and it just asks me why I blew them all away. But I feel so great now with Sovereign Cargonia. Every round we stand our ground. Gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo. Hail Cargonia, gun cargo. Gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo. Hail Cargonia, gun cargo, gun cargo. Gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo, gun cargo.
Get back to work. That's a pipe!
Hey, there we go. All it had to do was just turn everything off and unplug it, and there we go. Hey, okay, lovely. Apologies for if there might be a double VOD. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what I want to play. There are some things that I just bought on the Steam Summer Sale that are installing that I may get around to at some point. And B, I'm just bored, tired, and just want to hang out and chill. So, I've got a project that I'm doing. I've talked about this, and some of you might remember Cocainium Rob's giant all-day stream from a couple years ago featuring the very first iteration of Magic that we ever did on stream. And in one of those, I was doing some knitting. And so I have decided that I'm just going to chill and chat and hang out and knit. What I am working on right now is a baby blanket for my friends. They had their first child. Okay. Fucking hell. We good? We good. I hope we're fucking good. Because if we crash again, I'm just going back to fucking sleep. Anyway, I had promised them that I was going to knit them a baby blanket. And I had promised this when when they first announced that they were pregnant back in January. Baby came in early June, and I was like, oh shit, here's the baby. I haven't knit jack shit. And I've been knitting intermittently the entire time. So this is approaching halfway for the blanket. I really, really do like this yarn. This is a mostly acrylic yarn, so no special care instructions. If a baby does what a baby does on it, all they gotta do is really just pop it in the washing machine. But also just the coloration on it. I'm not doing anything, I'm just straight knitting. This is just how the colors lay on the yarn. It's very nice. Unfortunately, the store didn't have all blue, so I'm just gonna start and end it with the 2 blue skeins that I got. This isn't any particularly complicated pattern. This is actually literally just a modified washcloth pattern, honestly. Called like Grandma's Favorite Washcloth. And so it's like normally it like starts down here, gets to about like right here, and then starts decreasing, and then you got a washcloth. Well, this is about 2.5, almost 3 feet across now. And I really just want to go until I use up all of this skein of yarn. It's about halfway through. It's a very mentally relaxing little pastime. Just put something on in the background and just enjoy it, have fun with it. So there are different ways to knit. The way that I am doing, the way that I learned how to do it is called continental or German. And I have no idea. Come on, like my frickin' I am going to do is I am just going to kill that, and I'm just going to have some low-grade music in the back so that my headphones don't keep turning off, because that's fun to just keep hearing doo-doo-doo. All right. Okay. There we go. You know, or I could just plug in my wired headphones and we would have this entire thing be an absolute moot point. Anyway, I knit Continental. Continental is was once popularly known as German style, and it was one of the most popular ways to knit in America up until a certain thing called the Second World War. For, I hope, obvious reasons. And so the other way of knitting, which I literally cannot do, well, I can do, but I really don't like, is like English or throwing or like traditional, I guess, which is where you hold the yarn loose, you put it through the loop, wrap the yarn around the needle, pull it through, boom, you got a stitch. But it's very loose, and the German style, the continental style that I'm doing, I am very good with, I can hold my tension a lot better. The only downside is this little buddy right here, my index finger, just kind of hangs out and gets real tired. You know? He just hangs out and has a great time, and then gets real stiff. Which is fun. But anyway, about this thing. So I had gone from about here to here with one skein of yarn. All this gray right here is the next skein. And it works out fairly well. I would have liked to have had more blue, but it's fine. But yeah, it's a fine time. No, I turned on Spotify and I'm listening to Pictures at an Exhibition in the background. It's the first thing that I saw. I actually really do like Pictures at an Exhibition. It's a really interesting little symphonic piece. Although my first introduction to it was my dad putting Tomita Isau's synthesizer version of it on my MP3 player, and listening to that as a teenager. But anyway, yeah, German style Continental got renamed and or disused due to the unpleasantness in the 30s and 40s. Um, and it's been starting to resurface. It's not a comfy stream if you don't have a cup of tea. It's not knitting if you don't have a cup of tea. So if anyone has any questions about me knitting, or just questions for me in general, like, this is an open forum at the moment. I'm just going to be knitting for about 2 hours. And I don't really just want to talk blindly into the void, because there's only so much that I can say before I start hating the sound of my own voice and start going into really, really weird territories, you know? Because that's the kind of life that's going on right now. Attention chat, do not make me do moderator things or use my foreign policy education. Foreign policy PSA, I understand the world is going to shit right now. We all understand that the world is going to shit right now. This is a happy place. Please do not bring attention to the fact that the world is going to shit, and or use this platform to make political statements one way or the other. Shit people gonna do shit things. What I'm doing as I watch you is fix errors I made in my proxy list. There is a lot of minor issues that would have bugged the hell out of me if I only noticed them after they went to print. So you're going to... So you have the physical proxies with you. Yes? And they have slight errors that you really wish you caught. Ouch. Yeah. So, speaking of slight errors, you will see how there's this lovely little increase on the side. I do that with a yarn over. Well, on this side, I forgot to do that on one stitch. No, it's this side. I forgot to do that on a stitch. So I'm rather upset about that, but I only noticed it after I knit like a huge amount up. So I'm not pulling back on this. Like, this is days of work. So it's rather difficult to show, but you can see hole, 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 straight stitch. Yeah, don't get disappeared by Night Owl. Life update with me. I just finished training for my new position at work. I am a manager. And it's admittedly a little scary to be doing it. without my trainer. Which, I mean, that's the point, right? You know, like, get trained to do it yourself. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to fuck it up because A, I need the money. B, I need the money. C, I really like this job. I really like the people. And I really enjoy it, even if it is standing around and saying hi, thanks, see you later for 8-9 hours a day. I'm making fucking $20 an hour plus bonuses and incentives, all in at about like 28 an hour, just to frickin' work at a gas station. Like, Jesus Christ, they pay me boatloads. They have me. Yeah, I've got full fucking health care. They've got me set up with a really good retirement plan. Granted, it's a 401k and not a pension, but they're taking care of me, you know. Digi, I got the new ones from the printer on Friday. Noticed a couple of minor mistakes that bugged me enough that I want to make fixed versions for the next order. And while I did that, I figured I should find these errors before they set to print. I'll ask my proxy friends where I messed up. I found a lot of tiny mistakes. Oh no. So like formatting issues and little art mistakes and grammatical shenanigans like that. That's unfortunate. But yeah, no, I just finished training. I had a lot of fun with that. I mean, the only shit part about it is I've got the weirdest goddamn schedule right now. Today, Monday, is my day off, and if I dragged myself out of bed and was going to attempt to play a video game, but I wasn't in a mood to play a video game. And if I didn't decide to knit for you all, I was going to just go back to sleep, because I ain't got shit to do today. And, well, sleeping kind of sounds really good. But, for mental health, getting up and at 'em is fairly alright. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do now that I'm up and at 'em? After I finish streaming, I will have some breakfast, lunch, and I am going to get back to the gym. Because I need to, going to the gym is one of the things that consistently helped with my mental health. Newt is asking in our studio chat, some of y'all's titles for your streams are on point because of our branding. What are y'all's thoughts on Mind Simply with Newt, Chris, and Lone Wolf? Verbatim. Right about it. I fell into Mind because of my name. Just be silly. A lot of crap. Accidentally laughed again here. Shit, I used the wrong frame element there. And one embarrassing mistake. I forgot to give a nickname to a card. Just copied the regular name. With Borb, Boreb, and Borb. I love it. No, so I started knitting. Back in God, when was this? The Doctor Who, like, 50th anniversary special or something back in 2012, 13, something like that. I started knitting my scarf back then. And, well, I haven't finished... it yet. I have not played any of the Persona games. I know of them. I know that they are weird. I know that they go places. I know that they do things. And I know that they are... that they have very similar elements to another game. And I know that they are basically quintessentially Japanese. So this is how I've been doing the increase. So I have... This is my working needle right here. Look at me giving a freaking knitting tutorial. Anyway. Okay. Like I actually know what the fuck I'm doing. This is my working needle right here. I've knit 2 stitches, and then I'm going to do what is referred to as a yarn over, which is basically I knit the working yarn right here without going through the next stitch. And then I just go like that. And boom, on the next row, I have a new stitch. I need to look up on the pattern what I need to do for the decreases, but I've got some time. I've used about 2 layers of that yarn so far. Anyway, no, I've been knitting my scarf on and off for many times. Or for many years, many times. And it's always a really interesting pattern. My dad bugs me to try and get it finished, and I'm just like, yeah, I know. Leave me alone. So a character knits in Persona 4. That's really interesting. No, I know nothing about Persona 4, Persona 5. I watched some of the Persona 5 anime and know that it can get really fucking weird. Like, it started off with with a high school gym teacher. Why is it always a high school gym teacher abusing the female students? Shall we just leave it at that? Being an absolute fucking weirdo. So yeah, that's where my life is right now. 17 people watching. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. It being so early and the most engaging content being me just talking and moving my fingers in a kind of blurry, unfocused mess. Like, will this camera please just focus on what I want it to focus on? Kanji Tatsumi, his name is literally Kanji, Jesus, runs a textile shop and enjoys knitting and related handicrafts, but he also tries to project a hyper-masculine image and is sometimes really socially awkward. That is hilarious. So remember what I was saying about my finger cramping up, getting really stiff? Given that this is going to be about 4 feet diagonally across, it's wide. So I'm using a circular needle, which is, it's not needles that that are in a circle. It is needles that allow you to knit in a circle. They are needles, so I have a needle here and a needle here, and I have a length of wire, for lack of a better word, that goes from one needle to the other. And, well, it's a circle. Circle needles allow me to have larger projects without having physically larger needles. Oh, excuse me for a second while I go get something. So, I made a, this is one of the very first things that I actually ever did complete. For those of you who have been around, I have worn this a couple of times. For those of you who have not, it's rather cunning, don't you think? A man could walk down the street with a hat like that and you'd know he's not afraid of anything. I rather do like this hat. Did my... yes. There we go. I'm sorry, Mr. Digi. I'm sorry for taking the thunder out of your sails. But no, I used a very kind of chunky wool for this. Single ply chunky, which is a very kind of awkward thing to use because it's just so fucking thick. Like goddamn triple C thick. And but it didn't take a long time. It only took me like a couple of hours to do it. Like once I actually like sat down and put all of it together. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on in the studio chat. When you've got shitty enough internet that it takes 15 seconds to respond to shit. Only addition is some custom plastic straw stands for a complete look. Get Rob in there, point camera at cast iron skillet of bacon, cook bacon. That was such a popular early morning stream. That was a really... No, like, guys, if you remember Cocainium Rob's great New Year's Day marathon, I really did enjoy that early morning comfy stream. That was some peak BPL right there. So what's going on with what's going on with you guys? What's going on in Oxlandia? What big pierogies he has. Who the fuck is this guy? Ah, bulk. A smart man learns from his mistake. A wise man learns from the mistakes of other. Rob got bacon grease on his dick. Oh, don't get bacon grease on your dick. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a good one. It's the... Installing Win 10 updates are eating my bandwidth. That's good. That's fun. All of my devices want me to update to Windows 11, and I'm just like, look, you barely got me to update to Windows 10. What the fuck do you want from me? That's like an OG frickin' quote. Yes. What's going on right now? The Great Gates of Kyiv. Thoughts and prayers with Kyiv. My 40 gigabyte USB stick to slow format. It's taking ages. So I'm listening to you knit and reading a novel on my phone. I won't have a choice pretty soon. I think it was October. It's all Win 11 only, and Win 10 support will go away. Yeah, they can bite my dick. They can actually fucking bite my dick. A good friend of mine. A good friend of mine. Oh lordy, come on. And now it's gone all shit. And now I'm just knitting up here then. Whatever. No, a friend of mine updated to Windows 11 and he says it's obviously designed by some AI bro because the search function is replaced with the Cortana AI, and it's not like Cortana hasn't been around since Windows 8, but we've been able to disable her, you know, and now she's just front and center and just like, hey, use our AI, it's gonna make everything better. And he's just like, I need to actively find workarounds because she is so shit. Oh yeah, Copilot, Cortana, whatever the fuck the AI is called. It needs to be fucking always online for because Copilot has to talk to the Microsoft servers, or else it misbehaves. And if you're offline, well, because the AI can't remember, because the AI can't talk to the server, it misbehaves, and then shit goes fucky. And then there's advertisements, which is like, bruz, I'm already using your product. I already gave you money. I don't need more advertisements. Sir, my business software was originally written for DOS or Windows 3.1, and I have barely updated in the intervening 4 decades. Such a snob. Start button on Windows 11 is in the middle of the... Yes! Yes. Start button goes on the bottom left, so help me fucking God. Get this Apple bullshit out of here. Get this Apple App Store frickin' Mac OS bullshit out of my windows. You know, it's like Microsoft is trying really hard to get me... Microsoft is trying really hard to get me to full convert to Linux. We see you are knitting. We aren't monitoring your camera. Here, would you like to purchase this wool adjacent product? Oh, yes. I know, right? And then it's something completely fucking inane and bullshit and not... And not even like fucking related to yarn. Guys, are we old men yelling at clouds? Or is it just the children that are wrong? No. No, I can't be wrong. It's the children that are wrong. I schedule cloud yelling from 1 to 2 p.m. I'm an old man and can literally use back in my day, and I'm only 42. Nermet, I'm 32. And I regularly have used the phrase, back in my day, when I was training 16-year-olds at the gas station. The children are wrong. They don't even know what it's like to carry a CRT monitor up the stairs. Oh my God. Oh God. And Rigus, carrying a CRT monitor up the stairs, and then you have to try and fucking not fumble it as you have to open up the door. And you better pray that it's a handle door and not an actual doorknob, because then you're fucked until you yell for someone to actually come and open up the door. And then the door opens up, and you holding the CRT monitor is just wide enough for you to get through. Just wide enough for you to get through without bumping your knuckles against the side of the fucking wall. Considering that the UI designers at Microsoft are probably half my age at best, yes, the children are wrong. Things have changed so much in so little time. It's the greedy corporations that are wrong. Kids are dealing with the bullshit with the rest of us. This conversation makes my back hurt. Thing weighs 60 pounds, and I still use it. Now you know why my knees hurt. Oh, God. My dad still has, like, all of his frickin', my dad still has all of his old computers. And I swear to fucking God, my dad does a lot of how do we say video editing? My dad burns shows that he likes onto DVDs. He so that he doesn't have to deal with the internet when he wants to watch his shows. I don't blame him. He does this on his 15 plus year old computer down in the basement that has the old CRT monitor. Things like 60 goddamn pounds. And he just sits down there, plays his old games, burns his CDs. He has a good time. My first old man moment was at 32. I was discussing how much snow fell 20 years ago. I had a dissociative episode in front of my neighbor and did a 1,000-mile stare for 10 seconds. God damn, right? Like, so many... speaking as some sort of millennial, will you please focus on my fingers? There we go, you piece of shit. Speaking as some sort of millennial, there are so many cultural touchstones that I discuss with people. And I'm just like, oh yeah, remember when blah-de-blah blah blah, like 5 years ago? And they're just like, that was 2003. And I'm just like, fuck, that was 30 years ago. 20 years ago. Fuck, damn it. I remember when snow back in the winter was... Remember the snow back in the winter in 93? There was 3 feet. Oh, shit. Oh, God. I remember very distinctly the feeling I had when I realized that many of the people that I could now talk to and interact with and now have voting powers and can buy liquor and cigarettes weren't even born when 9/11 happened. You all 20 of you frickin' watching were either in high school, full-fledged adults, or like middle school, high school, or college of some sort in 2001. Yes, safely assume I was in the 4th grade. And I know it's not September 11th, but since we're old men yelling at clouds, this is my 9/11 story. My dad was, you know what? I'm in the old man club, alright? Fuck you. My dad was in the Air Force, active duty Air Force at the time, and we were going to, my brother and I were going to, they had us in a Catholic school in the nearby town, because that's actually where my dad went to grade school, and they didn't really want to put us in the base public school. And, I mean, I don't blame them, but honestly, looking back, I probably would have liked the public school a bit more, because looking back, I did not have the best fucking time at the Catholic school. Neither here nor there. 4th grade. We go to school, and because it's a Catholic school, we go to church. The lower grades go to church at some point during the school week. The upper grades go to church at some point during the school week. And then on Friday, everybody goes to church. And then on Sunday, we go to church again. Jesus Christ, I went to church 3 times as a kid. No wonder I'm agnostic right now. Neither here nor there. So, we get to school. They march us off to church. Church ends. The lights go down. And the teachers run back to school. And so all 70 of us kids are just sitting in a half-lit church waiting for the teachers to bring us back to school. Hey, what's going on? Anybody know what's going on? No, the teachers just ran off. What do we do? Well, we're in church, so not much. And there's only so much you can do with, like, browsing the frickin' hymnals and attempting to read the scriptures for the, read the scriptures for the upcoming masses, or trying to find your favorite hymns in the book. And it was just, it was weird. Teacher came back. Hey, are we going back to school? No, wait here. Okay. Goes off for about 30 some odd minutes. Hey, can we go back to school? No, wait here. We're bored. Just behave. You're in church. Yeah, mass ended. Can we go back and learn? And do stuff? No. We're just gonna stay here for right now. So 10:30 rolls around and we finally go back to school. Mass was only supposed to be about an hour at the beginning of school. And we, all of the lights in the building are down low. Everyone's really quiet, not really doing anything. And it basically just turns into, hey kids, watch movies and have show and tell and basically extended recess for the entire day. 3 o'clock rolls around and we all get out of school, and Mom comes to pick us up, and we live on base. And 4th grade me just can't wait to get back to school, back home, because I really wanted to watch Toonami. Because on Toonami at that day, on Toonami that day was the culmination of the Namek saga and Goku's battle with Frieza. And you know how fights in Dragon Ball Z go. And this was like actually, like they were actually going to finish it. It was all going to end and everything was going to be freaking awesome. And so 3:30 we get to the base. And there's just a long line of cars. And I ask Mom, when are we gonna get home? Oh, a couple hours. There's only but home is right there. I can literally see my house from the road. And hold on. A couple hours, but home's right there. Usually we just drive onto the base, flash our IDs, and boom, we're in. Everybody is getting their cars basically torn apart. So eventually we get up towards the front. It's about 6:30 at this point. And my brother and I are just baking in the September heat. And we are in 4th grade and the 1st grade, I think, or kindergarten, I can't remember. And we are just very upset and bored. And so this airman comes up, starts looking through our car, starts looking through my backpack. And I brought my Bionicles to school for show and tell that day. And he takes the Bionicles out of their tubes, and stupid me, looking for some human interaction, starts talking to him about his Bionicles. Mom is trying to shush me. And I'm just like, Mom, I want to talk about Bionicles. It's the most interesting thing that's happened in 3 hours. We finally get home. And Toonami is over. And I am very upset because I missed Dragon Ball Z. And it took a few years for me to realize what the hell fucking happened that day. And I felt really bad about feeling worse about missing Dragon Ball than the attack. But I was a kid, I didn't know any better. And that was an interesting time. I don't know why I talked about that. I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, that's what it was. I talk to people about like my 9/11 story. And then I realize you were born in 2002. You don't have a 9/11 story. And you can vote. You know? Like, 9/11 was such a culturally defining moment for a generation of people that it's weird to think that people don't have a 9/11 story. Well, we were a K-8 Catholic school. I suspect the 7th and 8th graders might have watched the 7th and 8th graders would watch it. But I wasn't friends with any of them, so meh. I had to explain what the Soviet Union was to some interns once. They were old enough to drink. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I regularly ID people at work. I'm not from the US and can remember vividly hearing about it on the radio as my mom drove to get me a haircut. Wow. But yeah. No, I regularly ID people at work. It's like, hey, you're buying alcohol, you're buying Swishers, you're buying a vape. May I see your ID? 2001, 2002, 2003. Jesus Christ. Y'all are young. What really gets me, though, more so than not having 9/11 as a cultural touchstone, is the fact that my SpongeBob references don't land with some of the younger folk. SpongeBob doesn't land. I like, when I was training folk. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm here. No. Are you ready? What? I'm ready. I'm ready. SpongeBob? Oh, no, don't really get that. What the fuck? Kids don't know they're SpongeBob? I split that stitch. Yeah, that stitch got split. Luckily, I fixed it. No. First, we started talking about Windows 11, and then DOS, and then yelling at clouds. God. Is this what our parents felt like? I don't like it. I still feel like I'm frickin'... I still feel like a fucking teenager sometime. Can we talk about something that isn't depressing? I'm sorry. That's just where my brain went. People who grew up on various Lego cartoons are now able to vote. I swear to God, I dropped a jaw when a kid prefers Star Wars Lego to the Star Wars movies. Well, depending on what trilogy he's talking about, he has a valid point. I eventually did get to see the end of the Namek saga. Like, 10 years later when I actually searched it up on my own and started watching anime online. I don't feel almost 70. Is that what it's all been? My brother and I played the shit out of Lego Star Wars on the GameCube back in the day. Like, one of the only times we were not killing each other was when we were playing Lego Star Wars. It's a shame that Team 4-Star is never finished DBZ. Granted, the Cell Saga is a great place to quit, but I would have loved to have seen them do Boo, because that would have been funny as hell. But creative stagnation and licensing issues, I understand. Yeah. All that time, and I've only fluff gotten two rows done. In college, we didn't have any channel that got DBZ, but the local pool hall did. So whatever day it was on, about 5:30, me and my friends would go to the pool hall and play the minimum amount of pool while watching the Boo Saga. That's funny. That's funny. I only wish they had enough in the tank to make the final DBZ Kai, where they abridge their plans for the rest of the series. Alright, you know what? Let's take a look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow. Hello, German. Come on, where are you? Right there. Boom. Boom. Hello from Eurolands. Please, give us something to talk about, because I'm just rambling and we're getting very depressed and being old men yelling at clouds. $30.13. Okay, sweet. Yeah. I mean, it is. I'd rather just not. Just noticed the knitting stream. Yes. If money wasn't an issue, what would you do first off of your bucket list? Bring my dad, buy my dad and I a ticket to Munich and go to Oktoberfest. Would fucking love to go to Oktoberfest with my dad. So this is the scarf that I've been working on forever. Brown, red. Yep, I gotta get 30 rows of this shit. Jesus Christ, this is so short compared to the blanket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yep. This is the Fourth Doctor scarf. It is very big. And once at Oktoberfest, once you have done your drinking and getting over the hangover, what would you do then? Honestly, probably travel Europe, because, oh my god, using bamboo needles is wildly different from using the metal needles. This is very much thinner yarn compared to that kind of chunky yarn right there. Oh my god, this feels so weird. Please don't, think I'm weird, but knitting can be weird sometimes. You think this is the first time you've ever heard me make a reference to Doctor Who, given that my name is Doctor Who. And I have regularly worn shirts about Doctor Who. I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually played with those magic cards yet. I have them. They are sleeved up. They are ready to go. I haven't played with them yet. How would you rank the companions of the rebooted series and why? Rory Williams, OG GOAT. Rory is the fucking GOAT. Amy Pond is okay. Donna Noble has actually grown on me, because she really didn't care what was going on. She was there treating it like a goddamn vacation. You know, like, she didn't want anything from the Doctor. She was just there to have a good time. She didn't have an agenda. She was just there to be there, you know? She could be a little annoying, yes. But unlike what's her name? Rose, she wasn't in love with the Doctor. Forget the black lady. Though she is a borderline Karen. She is a Karen. But she wasn't there to really do anything besides like have a vacation. Martha was a badass and actually like did shit. I liked her. I will say this. The best part about Martha, or about Donna Noble, was her grandfather. That guy was a fucking OG. He was great. Yeah, really didn't care for Amy Pond all that much. She was fine. But Rory is the fucking chattest of all of the Doctor Who companions. When he was on screen at the end of his tenure, I believe he was technically he was technically the oldest character in the series, because he remembered all 2,000 years he was the Plastic Centurion. Yes. Doctor and Granddad are in the Gamma boxes, and the Doctor had been told he will knock 4 times. And they get to the end of the episode, and they're both in the boxes, and Donna's Granddad goes, "Hey, can you let me out?" And the immediate realization on David's face was absolutely heartbreaking. Let me go get my weaving needles. River's interesting. I don't necessarily like how it came about, her beginning given her end. But I do very much I did very much like the out of time nature of the disjointed time nature of their relationship. It was an interesting dynamic. That was interesting. Okay. Yeah, they did. They did. I'm not saying that they didn't. I'm just... She always was a very interesting character. Alright, what I am doing right now is I am weaving in the ends. To try and make this long tail disappear. Um, Clara was a very interesting turn on. It was a very interesting turn on the companion. And I really did like what I watched of Capaldi. I have not finished Capaldi. I have not seen any of the Lady Doctor, and I have not watched any of the New Doctor. So I cannot give you so I cannot give you the opinions on any companions from there. But I really did like the twist, at least of what I remember the twist being. Because the end of Clara wasn't that she forgot the Doctor. It was that the Doctor forgot her. Which was wild, because the last time Doctor memory manipulation happened was with Donna Noble, and she forgot the Doctor. Absolute brilliant writing with that. Also, Capaldi being a super Doctor Who fan was really fucking hilarious. Oh, also, click. That is a row counter. And it just helps me keep track of my rows. So, what I am doing is I'm going over the U, up through the stitch, through the next U, going over the hat, down the U, through the other hat. Just trying to repeat the stitch. Yes, he was in the Pompeii episode. And they started worshiping the TARDIS as some sort of deity, right? They had it on. They had a carving of the TARDIS on their mantelpiece. Can I get one more? Yes, I will get one more stitch. There we go. So what I very much like about this scarf is I am about 70% done with it. Get you. And I am at the point where I can actually legitimately wear it. Oh god, yeah, I need to take care of this yarn. It is very musty. Ah, I didn't put the yarn on the other side of the stitch. I forgot how to slip a stitch. Bring the yarn over and slip the stitch. There we go. So, I remember I have two first Doctor episodes. You know the joke. You always remember your first Doctor. I remember that my dad sat me down and had me watch Blink. And I fucking loved it. Such a good episode. Such good writing. That was an amazing theme. That was an amazing idea. Using this one particular girl's entire DVD collection as a method to get her to send the TARDIS back in time was so amazing. And then her meeting the Doctor before he got trapped by the angels. Oh, that was great. Oh, that was so good. That was such a good episode that perfectly described how time travel can be a great story writing tool. But that was not technically my first Doctor. My first Doctor was actually a Christopher Eccleston episode. And it was, this was before I realized that Doctor Who was a thing and that I would like watching it. And this particular episode was when he was tracking down the Slitheen that had infiltrated the government, I think. And there was a Sally Sparrow companion would be fucking based. Anyway, the particular scene that I remember was Christopher Eccleston standing at one end of an alleyway with this rather fat lady running down it. And he just stands there, holds up his screwdriver, goes as she teleports away, and then she teleports and then reappears right in front of him, turns around, starts running, teleports, reappears right in front of him. And Christopher Eccleston says, "I can do this all day." Now, at the time, I did not realize that that was Doctor Who, or that it would become one of my favorite shows of all time. But I do remember that bit. It is a very cunning hat. It is indeed a very cunning hat. Sally Sparrow would be a great companion. This yarn feels so different to the yarn that I'm using for that blanket. It's thinner and it's full wool, so it's actually a little scratchy. It smells like wet. It smells like wet fur a little bit. So I need to get it conditioned. Pompeii was a great episode. We just talked about it, I think. With Capaldi technically being an actor in that episode. The beginning of this scarf is over 12 years old. The oud are so good. I really do wish that Christopher Eccleston could have been around for a bit longer. He didn't deserve the exit he got. He didn't deserve the treatment he got. He was a very good man. And just creative differences, creative directions, personalities, I get it. Oh, really? I thought that he had wanted to do more. I would have loved to have seen what his doctor did with more, though. Yes! So, David Tennant. David Tennant had an episode called The Doctor's Daughter, in which he gets bum rushed by these people on this planet who requisition some DNA from him and create a quote-unquote clone of him, who is played by Georgia Moffat, who is the daughter of Peter Davidson, the Fifth Doctor. David Tennant's personal favorite Doctor. They then started a relationship and got married. And now David Tennant married Georgia Moffat, becoming Georgia Tennant. They ended up having a daughter together. who, so, in a roundabout way of speaking, David Tennant was in an episode with the Doctor's daughter, who played the Doctor's daughter, who then married the Doctor and had the Doctor's daughter. Children. I'm currently on I'm currently on his Wikipedia page. Personal life. Georgia Moffat, making him son-in-law of the actor Sandra Dickinson and the Fifth Doctor actor. I do believe that he like, I don't want to get into his personal life because his personal life is his personal life. But I believe that his one of his daughters has come out as trans, and he is he supports them and is a trans activist, or at least supports his children. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I believe that's some of the Twitter controversy that I've seen. Oh gosh, ow. Finger cramping. Anyway. Yeah. Ah, Christ. So I'm just being comfy here, sinking into a very comfy chair, wearing a very comfy scarf. Hey, Digi. Gotta love when space-time has a favorite thing. I loved the what is it? The one Doctor Who special where him and Peter Davidson's TARDISes collide and they get to talking. That was funny. Have I achieved maximum comf? I am approaching. It's like DACA. There is never enough. Anyway, who here knows the story of the scarf? And why it is so long? Anybody know the story of why the scarf is so long? So, to the best of my knowledge, and some of this may be hearsay and/or apocryphal, but when they were, then please fact check me, Mr. Night Owl, if I say anything incorrectly. When the costume designers were deciding what Tom Baker's Doctor, the Fourth Doctor's outfit should be, Tom said, I believe they decided that, okay, he should wear a scarf. Okay, cool. Let's get a scarf. And one of the costume designers said, hey, one of my friends knits. I'll have her make us a scarf. Okay, cool. Have her make us a scarf. And so he grabbed a bunch of yarn, brought it over to his friend, and asked her, hey, could you please make us a scarf with all of this, with this yarn? And he meant use the yarn and make a scarf of reasonable length. And she heard, take this yarn and use all of it to make a scarf. And she ended up making a 15-foot scarf. They brought it back. Tom Baker looked at it and said, I'm wearing it. Something along those lines is the story of why the scarf is 15 feet long. More or less correct there, Night Owl? All because a lady heard, use all the yarn? So, I need to, so, I am very far into this scarf. I actually legitimately do not have far to go. And I've been at this point for God knows how fucking long. So let's talk about this. This is a very good question, Rigus. So this is the pattern that I got from DoctorWhoScarf.com. And I have 2013. This scarf is 12 years old. Hey, Bard! I started... Shit. I started here. And I knit. And I am currently right here. I am currently in the middle of this 30 wide brown spot right here. Douglas Adams was a writer? Jesus Christ! I need to watch Tom Baker! So I have all of this left to do. I am currently in the middle of one of the last tan hells. This scarf is eloquently referred to in the knitting community as tan hell, because you have 52 rows of tan, 30 rows of tan, 54 rows of tan, 44 rows of tan. I wasn't aware that he was a chief writer. I was aware that he was a writer for some episodes, but I wasn't aware that he was like one of the big guys. Jesus, that's great. Anyway, Rigus, this scarf, when I knit it, finally, is going to be about, let's see. It is going to be about 11, 12 feet long of knit. And then I'm going to block it. And I'm going to stretch it. And it's going to be about 15, 16 feet. I am going to need to change into a new tan at some very near point in the future, because I'm not getting 14 more rows out of this little ball. Perfect excuse to get you to fly. We can do a pre-con fight next time we play Magic. Yep. Favorite Doctor Who villain? Ooh. That is a good question. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly can't think of many. Yes, the clone girl. She... I recall that she wore the scarf, and there was also an episode with Clara where the scarf was on a coat hook in the background. This is a deep cut. But the on Mars, the Beast in the ice. He was fun. What was the reason for the toilet plunger arm? I can't remember. I don't. I enjoyed Doctor Who. I just can't remember it. Can't remember the reasons. No, I just liked the reveal that there was quite literally a devil frozen in the ice on Mars, and he was doing shit. That was funny. Yes, please tell us why the plunger. Cybermen are good. Cybermen are very good. Oh. Not necessarily a villain, but just a rather a dickish person. Whoever the fuck the last human was. Fucking loved her. Moisturize me. Exterminate! No, you will be deleted. Doctor accidentally broke it when the TARDIS slammed through the base where the trash can body was first made. It broke the multi-purpose claw arm thing, so he gave a plunger that he just happened to have inside the TARDIS door. That's hilarious. Here's another one. The spider that created the spider that created the Earth. I'll get back to that in a second. Don't remember the episode. She was in 2 episodes. She was in a Christopher Eccleston. He was in a Christopher Eccleston episode, or she was in a Christopher Eccleston episode where he takes Billie Piper, Rose, to a station, observing the expansion of the sun into a red giant and the destruction of the Earth. They had terraformed the Earth back into quote-unquote classic Earth at this point, you know, because that was the most popular version of Earth. Stuff and things, you know. And the quote-unquote last human was on that station. And she was some lady who was obsessed with vanity and beauty, whose body had basically given up the ghost. Kelad? Huh. Anyway, her body had given away, and so in a pursuit of beauty and immortality, she had her skin preserved and put her brain and face in the skin. And she is basically stretched thin. She looks like a tanned hide, basically, on a rack. And has an attendant who constantly sprays her with water. Moisturize me, moisturize me. And she's quite an arrogant lady. She reappears in the hospital of New York. in the same long-term care facility that the face of Bo is. And this is David Tennant and Billie Piper at this point, I believe. They find her, and she says something along the lines of, I survived, and I survived, and this is some more skin that I had preserved. So the skin that I was in previously was the front of my body, and this is, well, the back. And Rose says something along the lines of, ah, so you're talking out your ass then. Which was silly. So why was he the cause of them always saying exterminate, Mr. Bard? I'm just concentrating on knitting. I believe they actually, there was a throwaway line where Jack Harkness said something along the lines of, you know, I'm known as the face of Bo because because they thought I'm so handsome, right? Or something along the lines of that. Like he's the face of Bo because he was so handsome and he became the spokesperson or the face of Bo. Oh yeah, he's the face of Bo. Stuff like that, yeah. There's so much. There are so many fixed points in time that they change is so weird. Hello, Blue 7. How you doing? Dog burpee naps.
They texted me and they said, yeah, we won't need you to come back.
What is my Spotify doing? There we go. It has been a couple of months since I've actually knit on my scarf. I'm going to have to do more of these comfy streams because this is actually it's really therapeutic. I also need to figure out how to do this this kind of stuff with make my chat better. Look at that very, very solid stripe right there. Oh man, that's so good. I haven't knit on this. Yeah, I fucking haven't knit on this since like Christmas, February. Am I going to be able to play Yarn Chicken and get at least 2 more rows out of this? I hope I will. Yes, I did, with Cocanium Rob. And someone else. And Cocanium Rob kept falling the fuck asleep. That was 2 years ago. He's around. He's doing alright. Doing life things. When did I learn to knit? I knit. I learned to knit about 12-ish years ago to start actually knitting this scarf. It was coming up on time for the 50th Doctor Who anniversary. And I wanted a scarf. And I didn't want to buy one. So I decided I was going to make one. And well, I've been making it ever since. Alright. It's coming up on noon. I'm gonna see if I can't quickly finish this row and the next row. Alrighty, almost done with this row. And boom. Alright, last row, and then we're going to be getting out of here. And I'm going to get some food in me and go and do stuff and things today. What's up with their subscription math? I'm not leaving just yet, Bard. Oh, you're leaving. Okay, bye. Have a great day. Love and hugs. Stupid. I recall back when I was knitting this on Cocainium Rob's stream, we were looking after my roommate's sister's cat. And the cat came over and started clawing the scarf, and I said something along the lines of, "No, kitty, this isn't kitty yarn, this is people yarn." Halfway there. That is quote 361. Night Owl, what quote are we at now? I don't know what you think I'm implying there. I'm implying that the, I was just saying that it wasn't yarn for the kitty to play with. Okay. We have 6,731 quotes. That is, or 30 quotes. That is a lot of quotes. Well, I am going to be winding up here, Mr. Digi. I'm a little over time. Also, Lady Red is working on a project. Keep an eye out for Lady Red's latest and greatest creations that will come far and wide to many, if all, members of the WBPL. And I've got 3 stitches left. 2, 1, and knit. I might be able to play Yarn Chicken for 2... Oh, Christ almighty. Old man back. Don't stretch. Ow. Yeah. Let me do a thing real quick. And, media. Add existing. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me and putting up with a very impromptu, comfy stream. I am sorry about the dive into 9/11, but it was somewhat appropriate to being. We are all old men yelling at clouds and wondering what the fuck the children are doing today. Remember, be kind to each other, be good to yourselves, get help if you need it, and remember to hail Cargonia.
Hold on.
Land of stolen things, obey the quartermaster, unless he's a ling. Miners don't die today. Cargo text push freight. Our enemies in disarray. All hail Cargonia.
Get back to work.